Welcome to Spain. So to start this adventure off, we're here at the Vizcaya Bridge in Bilbao. So this thing was built in 1893, I believe, or somewhere around there. It's 50 meters tall, 300 meters long, which is pretty huge. It was first built to transport just people across the river, but now it has room for about 4 vehicles. And this is the way they used to do it on boats, but now they have this very cool structure. Here is the view from the top. They got this all caged in, and you can take a little elevator up here. Super cool to see the city from up top and see the river. It was a little bit cloudy, which was too bad, but there you can see the trolley going across. It is now electric powered, but back when it was first created, it was steam powered. And then here, if you see and you didn't figure it out, don't drive into the water. So then we went ahead from there and headed to a beach where there are these paragliders, which this looks pretty cool, and honestly wish I got to try it, but fortunately we didn't have time. And then there's these crazy people which are surfing, and it looks really cool to be doing that. Then we stopped in a town about 12 minutes away on the coastline from Bermeo where we were staying. Here's the outside of Bermeo, and then it's the next day. We're here at the Guggenheim in Bilbao again. What a crazy building inside and out. Here's inside, and then as you just saw outside, and there'll be another clip coming up of outside. Really cool how they use the copper sheets, and yeah. Then we went to bullfighting, which that also was a complete shock compared to the modern rodeo that we're used to in the States. And yeah, so there's the parade, and then here is some of the bullfighting. Can't show too much of this due to YouTube restrictions, but here is a time lapse, and then we will jump into the next day quick. So after that, we went back to Bermeo, which we were staying. We were just driving in every day, and then there was this cool Montero. I liked that. Wish we get these in the States. And then just more buildings around Bermeo. So we had an Airbnb apartment just above the subway here. And then this one also ran all the way to Bilbao, which was pretty cool. So here we're on top of the hill. That is Bermeo. It was a super windy day here and quite cold. Had to take our rain jackets and hoodies. So we went and saw this lighthouse. And then here is another lighthouse in the dark, which is pretty cool because I had never seen a lighthouse working in the dark. Then the next day we headed to San Sebastian, which was super cool. Saw this old fortress on the hill, as well as we parked in the parking garage, and there was that awesome Porsche. So then that night, we saw our friend on this moped. He cruised around every day at the same time, and let's see if he's speeding. It doesn't look like it. The next day, we just explored a little more as we were heading to Llanes. I don't remember what town this was in, but it had a large park. So we stayed on the beach, and there were these cool dudes with their ATV. And check out this whip. I have no clue what this is. It's only on like 29s, but it looks pretty sick. Bunch of pop-top campers. I love campers. And then here's just a view of the ocean the next day at a different beach. Did a bunch of belly surfing there. And then here is our little spot in Llanes. Overall, some pretty cool stuff to see here. There's also this old tractor, and hey, I love tractors. They were just cruising out, going to feed the cows. Now here we are. I don't exactly remember where this was, but it was very beautiful. Then after we went there, we went to these blowhole things, and there was a mini truck. Then we're here in the Picos de Europa. There's this old cathedral, and then we hiked up to this. Then we went back down to the parking lot, got a bus ride up to the lakes where there are a bunch of goats, sheep, things like that, which you'll see coming up next. Now after we left Llanes, we went over to Gijón and we saw this cool train museum. I don't remember the year, but it was definitely very old. Here's some other ones, check them out. I thought they were pretty cool. I also really liked the one coming up here soon. This one, so it reminds me of the show Chuggington, which I really liked when I was a kid. There was some more sitting outside, but overall, super good museum, free to get into by donation, so go check it out and learn about some trains. All right, now it's the next day, and we went to the Fernando Alonso Museum, and this was so cool. The fact that they had the cars from every year that he raced was really cool, really inspiring to see that he is still racing even after, I think it was about 25 years in F1. He also went off and did some stuff with Gazoo Racing, doing the off-road truck stuff, as well as some 24 hours of Le Mans, which I really like those cars. I believe I have one of those coming up here shortly. Here's an in-close look at the engine, the intake tubes, and look at the carbon work on this to just make everything flow correctly. Absolutely insane. This was pretty insane, seeing the 5 different Ferraris that he had raced for. It was cool to see the progression from the different canards and wings and exhaust setups that changed each year. Here's the one from his latest season, the 2024 season. Just a fascinating looking vehicle. So now coming here to the end of our trip, we went ahead and checked out this cool private beach for the second last day, and then we went to checked out the Guaz de la Guche here. Super cool thing how they built this rock wall to this hermitage and went up all the stairs, went and looked out from on top there, as you can see here. Inside there were just some sailboats hanging. Overall, really enjoyed this. Definitely a leg workout and super cool viewpoint. Then after this, we just looped our way back, hop on our flight, and head back home. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. It's a little bit different compared to our regular truck stuff. And like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.